Little girl born with cognitive challenges displayed an extraordinary gift for mathematics. With just a glance at the problems on the blackboard, she effortlessly solved a question that had stumped the top students in her school for an entire year. However, her condition made her a target for bullying by her peers, and her daily life was filled with hardships. Tragedy soon struck. Her grandfather was diagnosed with a severe illness and given only a month to live. Desperate, the grandfather took his granddaughter to her uncle's house, hoping the uncle would care for her after his passing. However, the uncle, unwilling to take in a child with special needs, refused outright, showing no patience or compassion. Determined to secure a future for his granddaughter, the grandfather offered his entire life savings to the uncle, but the uncle brushed the money aside with disdain, mocking the small amount as insignificant. With no other choice, the grandfather got down on his knees and begged. Though the uncle's stance wavered slightly, the aunt suddenly appeared and harshly threw them both out of the house. Left with no options, he attempted to teach her how to sell newspapers, but her limitations made the task too difficult. Repeated failures brought ridicule and scorn from the neighbors, pushing them further into despair. Just as all hope seemed lost, a small glimmer of light appeared. One day, two agents arrived unexpectedly at their home. They explained that their headquarters was embroiled in a critical information war and desperately needed to find a genius known only by the codename Red Hat. According to them, this individual's abilities were crucial to turning the tide. The grandfather, who had worked at the intelligence office in Yunqing for decades, had never heard of such a person. He asked for more details about Red Hat, but the agents knew nothing beyond the codename. In reality, the person they were looking for was the little girl's math teacher. In an astonishingly short time, the girl had mastered everything the teacher could teach her. Even more shocking, she solved a problem that had baffled the teacher for 10 years with a single glance. The teacher was left speechless, marveling at the sheer brilliance of his unexpected protege. Yet, the little girl didn't comprehend the word genius. All she knew was that people often called her silly. Meanwhile, the agents received a final directive from headquarters. They must locate Red Hat at all costs. Visiting schools across Yunqing one by one, they finally arrived at the girls' school. The principal gathered the best students to solve a complex problem presented by the agents, but as time ticked by, no one could provide an answer. Just as the agents were about to leave in frustration, the little girl quietly stepped up to the blackboard. She wrote the solution with astonishing speed and then left without a word. No one noticed her presence until one of the agents caught sight of the blackboard. They were utterly stunned. The solution was flawless. The agents immediately launched a search to find the person who had solved the problem. Eventually, they discovered the little girl.